Good afternoon, everybody. Tom Sterios with True North Group, and we're here to do our Tuesday live with the Virginia Small Business Development Center, and we're going to be talking about cybersecurity again, as we always do every Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Weather here in Virginia is fantastic. So what we're going to talk about today, and we've talked about it in the past, is remote worker security. It's been a little over a year since we started the pandemic. And prior to the pandemic, you had about 30%, I say, integration of remote workers, people who were working from home. It was about 30%. When the pandemic hit, it jumped up to 70%. And it spiked to about 80, dropped to about 65. But in general, it's been running steady about 70% remote workers for the last year. And even though with the summer coming up and restrictions opening, some remote worker might drop, but I don't think we'll ever get back to the 30% that we were at prior to the pandemic. I think that workers have shown that they can be productive working from home, in the cases that they're allowed to work home. I think that business owners are seeing that there are some significant savings by allowing individuals to work from home. Also, the workers are saving money on fuel and commuting time. And so there's a lot of benefits to it, but there's a lot of risks associated if it's not constructed correctly. And unfortunately, a lot of our business owners had to pivot, in a day or two. One day, everything's fine. The next day, everything's shut down. And a lot of these business owners were not prepared. Hopefully, over the last 12 months, they've become more prepared where they're actually working with that. But what we've got to keep in mind is that if you are having your employees work on a personally owned device to connect to your network and do their job, you're taking a serious risk. And the reason that there's a serious risk involved in that is because you don't own that device. You can't require your worker to do anything. They don't have to have antivirus. They don't have to do their patches. They don't have to have the most up-to-date operating system. You can encourage them. You can tell them they can't work from home if they don't do it. But basically, you don't really have positive control over these personally owned devices. So from the beginning, I've recommended that if you're going to have people work from home, give them a company-owned device. Now, that could be a laptop, or it could be a desktop. And if it was their desktop that was sitting on their desk at your office and you make them pick it up and bring them to their house, that's fine. And the thing is because once you're there, then you can manage those devices the same way that you would manage them if they were in your office. So if you are, I would highly consider that you look at investing in getting these remote workers. It has been a year. Get them off of their personally owned devices and get them onto a company-owned device. The other thing is, we've talked about this over and over again, is VPN, or a virtual private network. When your employees are in your environment, within your network, they are protected by your firewall and protected by all of the rules and things that you have in place. Now, when they are working from home, they're not nearly as protected. They're connecting through their internet service provider, and then they're connecting to your device or to your network, and then doing their work, or they're connecting from their internet service provider going straight out to the internet. Now, without a virtual private network, everything they do is considered unencrypted. It can also be captured in different ways, and that includes your proprietary or regulated information. A virtual private network, what that means is that a secure connection is between your device or their laptop or desktop and your VPN server at your location. Now, that could be your firewall, or it could be a specific actual VPN server. And all of that traffic that they do for work, either going into your network or out, goes through your environment. That means you can track, you can monitor what your employees are doing, and you can also protect that data that's going back because it has those controls in place. So once again, highly recommend everyone be using a VPN. It sounds, like everybody should be, but not everybody is. The other thing is if you are allowing remote workers, these individuals may not always work from their home. They may work from a different location. Maybe they're taking a week's vacation and they're still going to, or with their family, but they're going to work because there's internet access. Or they're going, because the restrictions are opening up, they're going to a local coffee house or to Starbucks that allows Wi-Fi. That open Wi-Fi is extremely risky because as I have spoken about in the past, if you think about Starbucks and you think about open Wi-Fi, think about being in a very large room with a bunch of people and everyone's talking and you can hear all of the conversations. Now, you may not be listening to all the conversations, but you can hear all of them. That's what open Wi-Fi is. So everything that's going into that access point at Starbucks is basically clear text. That includes usernames, passwords, bank account information. The VPN, though, creates that encrypted communication between the user and that VPN server. So then all of that information is not actually, it's all encrypted, and it cannot be captured by someone who's trying to collect that unencrypted information. This is extremely important if you are in a regulated industry. If you're in a regulated industry, you have to be using a VPN. So if you have medical information, financial information, personally identifiable information, payment card information, any type of that information, and that has nothing to do with your proprietary information, really you need to have these VPNs in place and require all of your employees use those VPNs whenever they're doing work for their business or work for your business, because that protects them and it also protects your data and protects your client's data. We've also talked about encryption. Every remote device should be encrypted because if by chance that device is lost or stolen, you're only worried about now the device. So, if you have an encrypted device and there is regulated information on there, client information, medical information, if it's properly encrypted, then you don't have a data breach. You have a loss of a piece of equipment, and that, whatever that is, $1,000 for a laptop. And then you work with your employee to find out, was it negligence or was it really just an accident? If you have unencrypted data, and those hard drives on your laptops are not encrypted and that device is lost, you now have a data breach, which requires you to follow a bunch of different rules. One is that you have to report it to the state. You have to report it to medical. You also are required to report it to all of the clients or individuals or patients. And that can be extremely expensive. Because if you don't have any type of cyber insurance to help you protect or to pay for that, that's all out of pocket expenses. And then there's the recovery. And so encryption, like I said, these are things that are very simple to do. They're all come with our operating systems. And here at the SBDC, we are more than happy to sit down with each of you, any of the business owners or office managers that are running things for the owners. We can sit down with you. We can talk to you about your environment, get an understanding of what you have going on, because every environment is unique. Every situation is different, but there are a lot of similarities of controls and preventive controls that we can provide and share with you that will ultimately protect your environment and protect your employees and protect your business. So if you're interested in sitting down with one of our advisors, please connect with the link with the SBDC, and we'd be happy to get you on one of our calendars and talk to you about how we can help you protect your remote workers. Because as we said, it's not going to go away. It may drop over time, but I think remote working at a high level is here to stay. And as a business owner, we have to embrace the ways that we can create more efficiencies and better environments for our workers so that, we just help our businesses grow. So everybody, that's it for today. Once again, like I said, if you really want to sit down, like to sit down with one of our advisors, please click the link, set up a time, and we'd be happy to sit down with you. And everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a great day, everybody.